Let's get ready to rumble!
Welcome to Boxing Unwrapped. It's Boxing Unwrapped, the boxing podcast that's a bit like your child. Turns one and you don't understand how the hell that managed to happen. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andrew.
And guys, we've got to celebrate. Because we are now one. We are 1 year old. Thank you to everybody who's stuck around this long. You survived through all the no microphone tin box recording, that bit where Andy was underwater for about 3 weeks.
I think it was longer than that, to be fair. Test of perseverance, yeah. When we were all starting out so raw and so unpolished, unlike now.
Exactly. So we're so polished. And they say you can't polish a turd. Well, I'll tell you what, they need to listen to an episode of Boxing Unwrapped. And I actually have a little thing that I would like. Because we've turned one, I think actually it's time for us to get more people on the Boxing Unwrapped train. And in order to do this, we would like some of our avid listeners to apply to be Boxing Unwrapped Ambassadors.
Nice.
Right, so it's open to anybody who listens to this. All we want is an email, boxing.unwrapped@gmail.com, subject line ambassador, and in less than 20 words, tell us why you should be the ambassador, and we will get you some shit to go out and do your ambassadorial duties.
Do you think 20 words is a bit tricky?
Well, that's the whole point.
Right, okay.
There's got to be some challenge.
Right, okay.
Right?
Why don't you say they've got to do it in a haiku?
Oh, if you do it in a haiku, you're definitely a fucking ambassador of this show.
Okay, if you want to go over 20 words, you can do it, but you've got to do it in the form of a haiku.
Fantastic. Right. Well, guys, welcome to What the F is the Boxing News, the show where we give you everything you need to know about last week's fights and everything you need to know about what's coming up this weekend. So, Andy, tell the good people what we've got in store for them this week.
I will do. So we will go over what the F are the result from last week, because there's only one to talk about. What the F are the fights this weekend, and there are quite a few, not if you want to watch them through legal means in the UK right enough, for several of them, but there are fights happening all over the place. We will, of course, look at what the F went wrong last week, which there's a couple of things to talk about, but I mean, really, by this point in proceedings, on our first anniversary episode, I'm not going to get too pedantic about it, for goodness sake. We're going to talk about what special random news we have, and lots of things to cover there, and we will, of course, cover what grinds our gears, as well as finishing up with a bit of listener corner.
Right, well, let's dive right in to what the F are the results from last week.
Smoothly done.
So smooth.
Guillermo Rigonduex, we talked about his return fight, and this was the first one after the Nomas Lomachenko. That was not his first fight back, but his first fight back of a high-ish level against Seja Menu. And it seems Rigonduex has done some soul searching and decided that he now wants to be a little bit taller, a little bit brawler, and he's just coming out swinging. So going from the kind of chess-playing tactician, Cuban-styled amateur, he's just decided to stand in the middle of the ring and have a slugfest. It made for very entertaining viewing, and he scored an 8th round TKO when the referee said Menu was in no condition to continue.
You go Rigondo.
It was honestly very much worth watching. There are official highlights. I'm not sure if the whole thing is official, but I'm sure you can find it. But totally different style and like super aggressive, and his knockdown punch that then leads to the referee waving it off is very entertaining, very like high quality punch, and he does take some punishment in the rounds leading up to that. So it's kind of a back and forth affair before the knockdown. Very entertaining. So Rigonduex, I don't know how much more he's going to do that kind of style, but it was very much a sort of change of pace for him and pleasing on the eye. I'm trying to think whether we should mention it or not. There was the non-boxing fight.
There was the non-boxing fight. Paulie Malignaggi was fighting at bare knuckle. We did flag this actually against Artem Lobov, who is supposedly the kind of greatest of all time at bare knuckle fighting.
Is he?
Yeah, I mean, I
don't
know
think it
too
was
much.
a thing that everyone did.
I thought it was the only thing. To be honest, I thought just gypsies did it to settle like scores and stuff. To be honest, that's
not
kind
just in that film Snatch. I don't think they actually do that.
No. It genuinely is a thing. Like it is a thing. They do genuinely like are really into like bare knuckle fighting for honor. From what I've learned from
your time undercover in gypsy community.
No. Just from like those Channel 4 programs, you know, like the gypsy wedding ones.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. However, Malignaggi lost, quote unquote, but I watched it and he was fucking robbed. By the way, he was totally robbed. Like I don't know how they score it. Okay, I would imagine it would be similar, like clean punches and stuff. Apparently, like, judges like more aggression, but like he landed all the clean shots. Like he never looked like he was in too much trouble. The guy Lobov like couldn't get in to like cause any damage, even though he had like a longer reach and stuff. And Malignaggi was like fainting and like making him miss and shit. They both had really nasty looking faces afterwards. But like. Man, it was a weird fucking thing. I don't know if this is going to be like something new that they're going to try and push, but like it says a lot when your headline sponsor is Hooters. And like literally they had like Hooters girls as the ring girls.
Honestly.
Yeah. Don't know how you can get away with that in 2019, man.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how it will do. Because it was a pay-per-view thing in the US, I take it, obviously. I wonder how many people watched it. Paid to watch it.
I don't know. I wonder how much they paid Paulie Malignaggi to do it, actually.
Because he's been a diminished boxer for a very long time. But he's obviously such a high-profile person, isn't he?
Yeah, and you know, like I guess now he's known more for his like
punditry and stuff. He was a world champion,
yeah.
Wasn't he? But I mean, he was one.
Yeah.
He's got like he's lost a lot of times to like really high level fighters.
Yeah.
But the last sort of few years, he was losing to kind of like low level guys. He wasn't. You know, he clearly was going downhill. But anyway, don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think he was like beaten. I mean. You know, but he isn't like young.
No,
you know, he's not young. So like he did the 5 rounds he managed. But
was it 5 minute rounds?
No, it's 5 2-minute rounds.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Crumbs.
It's
brief.
It's very brief, very brief. But yeah, I mean like. You know, he was a diminished boxer because, I mean, he lost to Sam Eggington, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, he did, yeah. And that wasn't like, that was a wee while ago as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it says a lot. He also lost to, like, everyone's favourite boxing idiot, Adrian Broner.
He lost to Amir Khan as well, didn't he?
Yeah, fuck, man. I mean, that's how you know you're in trouble.
No, that's when Khan was good. They lost, I think, when Khan was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Anyway, let's move on to what the F are the fights this weekend.
This one's probably snuck up on a few people. I don't know if everyone's aware. British boxing's favourite idiot, maybe, O'Hara Davis.
Yeah. Fucking Ohio Davis.
Is that an unfair label for him? Potentially not.
No, potentially not.
He has his chat on Twitter is more controversial than ours.
Yeah, but I don't know. The British boxing's biggest idiot would probably have to go to BJS.
I was thinking you might offer that up as I was saying it. Hard to disagree. Anyway, O'Hara Davis is fighting Miguel Vasquez at York Hall. It's being shown in the States. Vasquez is a diminishing but was a world champion, so he's a high-level fighter, and it's being streamed live on IFL TV in the UK. So this is the free boxing bell we need to flag. And I don't know, York Hall seems to be like a very fun venue for boxing, and there'll obviously be some undercard going on there. So if it's free and you're at a loose end, I think it could be entertaining. And like I say, the atmosphere is always very, very good. So it should be a good laugh. They share a common opponent, a common loss. Which a lot of people will know as Scotland's favourite boxing son.
Josh Taylor, yeah, right, okay.
So they both lost to him in the last couple of years. So
fucking hell. Well, shall we talk about everyone's safe bet for the weekend?
Go on.
Richard Commey is fighting Raimundo Beltran. So if you are wanting to place a bet this weekend and you want to go just on stats, it's got to be Richard Commey. Because he's from Ghana, that makes him automatically very good going to win.
I'd forgotten why you were doing it. I was kind of getting a bit confused. Right, okay, fine. So yes, they are fighting, and it seems to be that it's on ESPN in the States, but I can't see that it's being shown anywhere on the UK. This had the Box Nation feel to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
but to no avail. No, Box Nation aren't showing this, or certainly they're not advertising that they're showing it. It's from fights taking place in California. And Commey, like you're saying, Ryan, maybe not quite in as stark terms as you mentioned, but Commey will be the favourite to win through in that one.
Well, and what's interesting as well, it'd be really interesting to see how Commey comes out, because remember, he broke his hand.
Yes.
He had the hand injury at his last fight. So it'll be interesting to see how that's recovered, how well he does, because the eye will be on, what happens between Lomachenko and Luke Campbell.
Which has not been announced yet.
Well, I mean, it's because they're trying to figure out how they do it at the fucking at the KC. I'm telling you, it's all about how do we put this on at the KC in time. That's it.
They'll need to get a wriggle on, surely, unless the boxers know, but it's not been announced, because they need to give them time for a camp, and we're already kind of hurtling towards the end of June. So July, August, September. I would have thought they'd need to be announcing it in the next month, if not sooner.
Yeah, exactly. For us to get all our accommodation and hall sorted.
Yeah, I mean, get those flights from Kiev booked.
Just contact Boxing Unwrapped's travel agents. We will help you kayak your way from Kiev to Hull.
Just allow plenty of time to get there. Build in some contingency in case there's any unfavourable conditions. Oh, me. There are a couple... There is some other boxing on this weekend on DAZN and also Sky Sports in the UK. Demetrius Andrade versus Maciek Szulecki from Providence, Rhode Island. Both top teners. Andrade's the favourite to win and retain his middleweight belt.
And there's a Charlo. There's
always a Charlo. You never run low. You're never going to run low of a Charlo.
Not at all. Against Brandon Adams. Showtime. So, to be honest, you might be able to catch us on YouTube. Because Showtime do show stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
So you might keep an eye out on the YouTube channel because I think it has to do with like they don't have like a license. There's no one that will be licensed for the fight in the UK, so they'll show it on YouTube and stuff, or it'll be uploaded like really early the following morning. So get your cup of coffee and your toast on Sunday morning.
Nice.
So, yeah,
that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Yes.
If you don't have any children in the house, if you have children in the house, it becomes somewhat less of an undisrupted experience. You're like,
I give Ted a plastic stick and he just chews it while I watch the boxing.
I tried that with my son and he looked at me like, what the fuck's this? I don't want plastic stick. I want your shitey boxing off and I want Peppa Pig in the fucking TV. I don't want a stick. You have the stick, you idiot.
Yeah, I learned a really interesting fact this week, right? That it's increasingly common that a child's first words are Peppa.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
So sad. It's sad,
so
but
sad.
true.
So sad. But then they want to do the parenting. They do the parenting.
They do the parenting for you. Peppa Pig does it for you.
Jeez. Right. Any more fights to talk about?
No more fights. Just the fight between your son, you, and the boxing on Sunday morning. Is it Peppa Pig or the boxing? Right. Well, let's move right on to what the F went wrong last week.
Right, so we mentioned it already, but the Malignaggi Lobov was a bare knuckle boxing match.
Mm-hmm.
And you called it an MMA match before.
I did,
which is not strictly true. So it certainly wasn't boxing as we know it, but it was something in between, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The other thing was, when I listened back, obviously as I do for tips and to do this section, when I mentioned the fact that the dog awful fighter that Chisora had the fight with Senad Gashi, who was winning against Tom Schwartz until he got disqualified, I said it happened in April, but I kind of made it sound like it happened in April of this year. Whereas obviously I meant to say, if it wasn't clear, that was April of last year that they fought. So just a minor one there. And the other thing you said was that the first person that was supposed to be the fight back for everyone's French favourite too lazy to do drugs test, Tony Yoka,
yes,
was supposed to be Johan Dupas. And I said, I think he'd probably been more live opponent than Ustinov. And I couldn't then remember when he fought or whatever. But Dupas' last fight was against Miller in April of last year. So he's not fought for over a year and he's 38. So to be honest, I mean, he was kind of scraping the barrel a bit with both of them.
Yeah. And I did make a mistake. I was talking about the Indian contact team sport, which is a bit like tag, but with contact, and I called it tabati. It's actually called kabaddi. Kabaddi. It's go watch it on YouTube. Kabaddi, and it's a bit like team tag, but where you beat each other up a little bit. It's quite interesting. Very, very popular in India.
Right. Did you do that? Was that a self-correction, or did
that was a self-correction?
Do you often do self-correction?
No, I try and let it slip through the radar until someone flags it up.
I like that one. That was good. And I think given that it's our anniversary episode, and given that we're now, so refined in our approach, that those are all the things that went wrong last week.
Well, then let's move on to some random news.
Anything? Anything you want to talk about?
Well, I do want to talk about something I saw quite recently, where Eddie Hearn has come out and talked about...
He's not, is he? I thought he was married.
Oh, no, but he came out and talked about how he was very close to having Tyson Fury on Matchroom before he went to Frank Warren, before the comeback. And the reason that it didn't happen is because Tyson Fury had floated who his 2 comeback fights would be against, and Eddie Hearn said, "No, they're too shit. I won't let you do it. I wouldn't let you do it. It's not good business." So
the 2 that he floated, the 2 that then happened.
Vargas and what was the
Vargas?
Not Vargas.
Your favorite Seferi,
Sifa Seferi, and what was the fat one? What was the fat one?
He was the Italian stallion, no?
The Italian,
This is, we're just doing this, listeners, to prove that this is recorded live, if you will. That we're not too over polished. You've looked it up.
Pieman Pianetta. That's it. Pieman Pianetta.
Francesco Pianetta.
Sefa Seferi and Francesco Pianetta, and basically Eddie Hearn said, "No, that's too shit. You can't be charging people to fight those guys," and then it fell through. So nice. He could have been on Matchroom, which would have made AJ fights way fucking easier.
This is new news, and it's not. I don't know what really to say about it, but on a boat. We're allowed to talk about this because no one got hurt, but there was a news story that broke just recently that Vladimir Klitschko and friends and family had to be rescued off a burning yacht in, I think, a recreation of, what was it, Wolf of Wall Street or something?
Yeah, so it's just really weird shit. It's the only kind of shit that would happen to boxers. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't happen to a normal sports person, you know?
No. You could see a Formula One driver. You could maybe a Formula One driver. I associate them with yachts, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird. Very strange. Anyway, no one was hurt. I don't think there's not any implication that anyone was at fault in any way. It's just one of these random things.
Yeah.
I don't think he was having a crazy party and set fire to the sofas inside or anything. We don't know what happened. On a slightly more serious note, should we say serious? The announcement regarding the Pacquiao Thurman fight that's caused a bit of a stink.
I mean, it's just no good for boxing, right? So, no VADA testing for Pacquiao versus Thurman. What does it tell us? It tells us that neither of them gives a shit if the other one takes drugs, and I imagine one of those people taking drugs is Pacquiao, because he's 150 years old, and to keep him alive in the boxing ring or to make weight and stuff, he's gonna have to be taking something.
Well, that's obviously pure speculation on your part, but the the interesting thing is that. So it's announced that they're not doing VADA testing, which is obviously the kind of the gold standard for drugs testing. As far as I'm aware, they both have been involved in fights previously where there is VADA testing. But there's not been any explanation as to why it's not in place for this fight. But it doesn't have lend a good amount of weight to anyone who's going to be, theorizing as to why you would not want the gold standard of drugs testing for a fight.
Yeah.
It opens them up to criticism, and I'm sure there'll be more comes out on this. But it doesn't look good. Put it that way.
It certainly doesn't.
It looks bad. It looks very bad. Kind of like at the Olympics, if some of the sprinters were actually, no, I'm not doing that test.
Yeah, I know. They're like, no.
They'd be like, no, you should. But no, it's okay. I'm going to leave it. No, you need to do the test. It's kind of like that. But in this case, the Olympics have they've gone, oh, okay, fair enough. Well, we'll just not do it then.
It's a real strange one, because it just doesn't look good for the sport of boxing.
It does not. It looks very poor. There's a lot of chat about the Eddie Hearn. I think he seems to be reasonably confident that the Dillian White Oscar Rivas fight will be announced as eliminator by the WBC.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, you know how Wilder's announced that he's fighting Ortiz in a rematch, but not any of the details regarding it.
Yes.
Now, if the WBC do announce it as an eliminator, which apparently Hearn seems to be reasonably confident that they're going to, then it would mean that Wilder would probably be allowed to fight Fury in an exception, but probably not be allowed. He wouldn't be allowed to fight Ortiz as a voluntary, and then Fury, and then fight the winner. So if it is, I mean, this is all speculative. I'm kind of boring myself with it, but in theory, it would reshuffle the proposed sequencing, but the network seemed to be set on.
Yeah.
So he would either have to fight Fury or White next. Would be effectively the outcome. Assuming White wins, of course. Otherwise, it would be Rivas.
Yes.
But if White wins, he's got to fight him, or he could fight Fury, but no one else.
But I mean, who knows? Because we all know what the stewardship of the heavyweight division under the WBC is like.
Well, this is true.
So expect Wilder to fight Kanaki next.
And then Brazil.
Brazil again, yeah. Brazil in the rematch.
Brazil, after a run of 7 straight defeats, has been promoted to number 1 contender, mandatory challenger.
Oh, fucking hell. Now, should we have like a little chat actually about the controversy that seems to have happened after the WBO make Usyk the mandatory for Ruiz versus Joshua winner, and not Dillian White?
Well, yes, we can go into some detail about the ruling, but do you want to do an overview about what happened?
Yeah, so obviously, as per their rules, Usyk moves up as the cruiserweight champion, and that, as their rules are, that makes him the mandatory for the WBO heavyweight belt once he turns heavyweight. However, Dillian White, the man who can never seem to get a title shot, knowing how hard he fucking tries, doesn't understand why, as being the number 1 ranked heavyweight contender, he doesn't become the mandatory. And in response, the WBO put out this absolute giant fucking ruling.
Fairly technical legal language. I think I put a link to it on our Facebook, but it was very legal kind of contract language, and even accounting for that, it was pretty out there. It was it was designed in a non-friendly manner in terms of
and it basically says that because Usyk was a super champion at cruiserweight, that makes him the heavyweight mandatory. That's just their kind of ruling. And basically Dillian White, go fuck yourself. It seems like Dillian White has been campaigning in every fucking body, by the way, in order to try and get a title shot. Have you noticed this? He seems to be ranked number 1 in every fucking everyone's lists. Have you noticed that?
But I had. But the one thing I would say is that it just occurred to me as you were speaking then is that he turned down the chance because he said the money wasn't right to fight Joshua, which is who was at the time the WBO holder. So he's kind of he did refuse that fight, which he doesn't deny, does he? He says he says the offer wasn't good or whatever. So, but he did have the chance to fight Joshua, who's that belt holder. So it's interesting. I wonder whether they take that into account. But anyway, they said that the WBO said that Usyk's claim, the super champion moving up claim, precedes White's claim in terms of having a better record at heavyweight. And then they go into the ruling goes into loads of details about Usyk's extensive amateur pedigree, which I can't really see as being at all relevant. Like, I don't understand what's that. If the ruling is just a fixed, it's based on the fact that he's moving up from another division, an adjacent division. Therefore, he's a mandatory. Then everything else is totally unnecessary to include in the ruling. You're just paying for lawyers' time unnecessarily. I could have written it for you. Just be like, no, it's him because of this ruling referring to like paragraph 5A of our rulebook. Ciao.
Yeah, which you sign up to. Yeah,
pages.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's just like as simple as I guess not. So that's the scenario with that one.
Yeah, I mean and the thing is, it wasn't like Dillian Whyte was offered buttons, right? He claims he turned down a $4 million offer to fight at Wembley on April 13. If you really want it, go for it. You know.
Well, the other thing that's worth noting as well that's kind of a little bit against him is that he did turn down a fight against Ortiz to become the WBC ordered to be the final eliminator, or the second to be the second mandatory after the Brazil fight, and he did turn that down. He didn't want to fight Ortiz, so because they ordered that, so that if both parties had agreed to that, then that would have got made. So, but I still think he should have somehow conspired to have had a title shot by now. But it just, I don't know. It's a sort of sequence of events, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'll happen before he's 40, probably.
He's been the WBC's number 1 ranked contender for over 600 days now.
Does seem like quite a long time.
It does seem like a long time.
One other bit of random news, unless you've got any. Have you got any more random news?
No.
I've got one more bit of random news. We've talked a couple of times about the fight in Saudi Arabia, Amir Khan. Mm-hmm. I forget. I've temporarily forgotten. Is it Goya?
For the pearl necklace belt.
For the pearl necklace belt, yeah. Also fighting co-main event on the card is Hughie Fury fighting the well-known but no longer well-regarded Samuel Peter.
Really?
The famous, I guess, for past exploits, Nigerian heavyweight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's happening. Samuel Peter, in his last outing, lost a split decision in New Jersey to the Mexican fighter Mario Heredia, excuse my pronunciation, who, according to Wikipedia, has a 7-1 record, which has not been updated for some time because his actual record is 16-6-1.
Right. Okay. Right. Interesting.
16-6-1. So he's kind of probably a pretty dog awful fighter, and he beat Peter in his last outing. And there we go.
Right. Okay. Well, Andy, do you want to tell me what grinds your gears this week?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Yes, and I've just made reference to it. This is ridiculous. The thing with Samuel Peter fighting. So he's famous for being at one point a very super dangerous, probably the best challenger in the division to the Klitschko's. But this is the prime Klitschko's, so it gives you an idea about how long ago we're talking about. Now, he's only he's 38 years old. But in terms of his like I say, his recent record, he's just lost a fight against Heredia. That was a couple months ago, and he won against someone a couple months before that, and then his last fight before that was over 3 or 2.5 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
2.5 years ago. A third round retirement defeat to Kubrat Pulev. So I mean, really, he's an active fighter, but because he's a named fighter, so he's fought and lost to both the Klitschko's, but he was a former world heavyweight champion, last holding the WBC heavyweight belt in 2008.
Fucking hell.
So, you know, this is going to be like one of these things that you really, really don't want to watch. And I guess he's being paid a stack ton of money for it. And it's the sort of thing where they want like a known name. But this sort of stuff is kind of, it's at the very least, it's embarrassing. At the very worst, it's dangerous. You know, I'm sure he will look in terrible condition.
But what I wonder here is if Hughie Fury is going down Kubrat Pulev's like list of people that he's fought, and then just going, well, Kubrat Pulev's beaten me, so who can I fight that's maybe worse than Kubrat Pulev?
I don't think Fury's making the decision. I think Fury's being handed like a suitcase full of cash and going, do you want to fight? We want like at least one kind of current decent one and one kind of very knowable name to fight as part of this, and they're both being paid a stack ton of money. But I think it's irresponsible. I don't think Fury should be having a part of this, really. Although, is it really up for him to vet opponents in terms of their suitability? Again, it's the same as Amir Khan. It's like, are you really going to turn down like a barrel ton of money to fight someone who you're going to beat comfortably? You go, well, probably not. But I don't know. I don't think it's just not. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't think Peter clearly should not be fighting anymore. And I don't know. It's just one of these things about like, because they've still got a name. It's all he's got left is a name, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But he won't have any boxing ability left. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I think it's a bit sad, and I really could live without it. So I would much rather he fought, you know, either a current decent level heavyweight, or even a current like gatekeeper or worse heavyweight, but like a young man. Don't fight an old diminished man.
Yeah,
man. So that's kind of what's grinding my gears this week. So Ryan, tell me this week, what is grinding your gears?
You know what really grinds my gears?
I'll tell you what's grinding my gears, Andy, right? And we have talked about it slightly, but it's the fact that there is no testing for the Pacquiao-Thurman fight at all. You know, I think following, you know, the failures from Jarrell Miller and other high-profile drug testing failures, I think it's absolutely ridiculous that the governing bodies themselves aren't going, look, you guys need to fucking have some testing going on here for this fight. Because if they don't, you know, what is that saying about boxing? Like, boxing doesn't care about, you know, clean boxing. I mean, why is the WBA not stepping in here and saying, like, look, you are one of our champions, Keith Thurman. We need you to have some testing. You know, I just think it's unbelievable. You know,
Pacquiao's the regular champion, isn't he, for the WBA as well, whatever that means. But you're right in terms of that body then has a degree of oversight over both of the fighters.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be sanctioning the fights. And why, at the very least, if the sanctioning bodies aren't doing it, why aren't, like, you know, the Nevada State Athletic Commission not saying, well, whoa. Why is there no testing involved here? Or, you know, or US anti-doping. Why are they not stepping in and saying, hold on, you guys need to have some level of anti-doping going on? Why is
There'll be some drugs testing as they're not. There'll be something going on, but it's just not VADA.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. There could be, but like they might say that there'll be drugs testing, I don't know, let's say, you know, 2 days before the fight or something. But that doesn't matter when it comes down to like running, you know, performance enhancing drugs. because you can run them for however long and then stop and have them come out your system, or whatever, or even things for like, making weight, they can use IVs to then rehydrate or something. There's all sorts of shit. So I just think that actually, why do we exist in a sport that can be like the Wild West for anti-doping?
Yeah, it seems very odd that it's like it seems to be optional.
Yeah, why the sanctioning bodies leave it up to, it's basically like, you have a choice. Either you can, throw it in or not, doesn't really matter. It's just a big smash and grab for fucking cash.
I think they need to be held accountable, and there needs to be a really, really clear understanding as to why it's not in place, because the fight wasn't announced at short notice.
Exactly. And we all know that this is only for fucking cash. This isn't Thurman going out proving that he's the best welterweight in the division. Otherwise, he'd be fighting someone completely different. This is for them to both make a bunch of fucking money.
Yeah, I mean, we've said about where this fight stands really in terms of like, in terms of the standing within the division. This is not like the best versus the best, but at the same time, in terms of like the notoriety and the press coverage and the media attention and the pay-per-view numbers it'll do, it probably is the biggest fight. It's a bigger fight than probably like, would it be a bigger fight than Spence Crawford? Probably. Pacquiao, I don't know. Anyway, it's as big, so there's all the eyes are on it, but they're not doing proper drugs testing. It's like, why is this even up for debate? Why is this not absolutely necessary? It just doesn't make sense.
No, not at all. So I would say, guys, fucking boycott the fight. Don't buy this shit. Whatever you do, don't buy this shit. Say that you want your boxing champions clean.
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing. It would be good if a lot of people were to actually, like, seriously to say that and to be like, I'm not buying this because they're not signing up to VADA. So.
Anyway, man, that's what grinds my gears this week.
Good, man. I liked it. Yeah. Very just. Very just.
So just. And I think actually, like I've talked about, like fucking drugs testing so many times on this fucking program. Right, so
drugs testing and Callum Smith. That's all I talk about.
That's all I talk about. A little bit of listener corner, guys. Please don't forget, you can still leave us reviews. I also really want to just give a big shout out to whoever our Argentinian listeners are, because we have been in the top charts for both iTunes and Spotify in Argentina the past few weeks. Yeah, right? Like, we have been like absolutely smashing it in the Argentinian podcast charts. At one point, we were number 13 in the Argentinian charts.
Not like the overall podcast.
Yeah, the overall Apple podcast charts.
No way.
Swear
That's
to
impossible.
God. I swear to God.
Apple Sport and Recreation boxing / comedy / UK base.
No. Our peak position.
We were not 13th in Argentina in our
20.
13th.
20. I've got the stats. We were number 20. Right? We were ranked number 20 on the 6th of June in Argentina. Right? We have steadily declined slightly over recent months and recent weeks. We're now ranking at 237. But anyway, thank you very much to our Argentinian friends who keep listening to us. So
Gracias.
So
Gracias, mi amigos.
Exactly. So, keep downloading, guys, and maybe one of you can be our new ambassador. Anyway, guys, that's everything for What the F is the Boxing News. So it's goodbye from me, Ryan.
And goodbye from me, Andrew.